interesting thing for me overall, I guess, was that I thought Bitcoin was it, but it isn't. It's the blockchain. I mean, Bitcoin just happens to be an application or a process that's been put onto that underlying fundamental, whatever you call it. I'm not IT. Kevin said something like more or less, but I'm not even, I'm a dinosaur when it comes to that part of the world. It's also, one of the things that sort of came through to me quite often was where this is all going to lead, particularly from a social and financial point of view. By the social aspect, what I mean is the seeming difficulty that governments are going to have to control what's flowing through it, and how they can overcome that. And I get that there's a lot of people that want to reduce control almost to non-existent. I personally, coming from the old school, see that as a negative. I think humans haven't got to the point yet in our development where we can be trusted. I really believe
that's exactly why we need the blockchain. That's the exact reason.
No, but underneath that is if people get into that and then there's no control over them.
And they're manipulated.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Certainly peer-on-peer is fine, where you doing a deal with somebody and you getting that agreed and tested and you know that it's factual. But when you get hold of it and somebody makes use of it, i.e. the Silk Road, and the difficulty they were actually lucky seemingly getting hold of that. Getting hold of the underlying troubles in the Silk Road.
But you know what's so interesting, Tim, is, and this is why I wanted to bring Jimmy in to talk about this, because a lot of the analogy is made that that blockchain is analogous to the internet in 1995, and I wanted to bring Jimmy in, and it's interesting because it's been an enthusiast's territory up until now, but a total technological outsider, with all due respect, Jimmy,
happens truly.
is starting to get their head around these technologies.
I mean, I think I'll just take on board one of Jimmy's points, which I think is very, very valid about governments wanting to try and control this. I don't think they will actually control it per se. I think they'll embrace it, and we're already seeing a number of nations looking at setting up digital cryptocurrencies. Even Australia is looking at it, allegedly. And one of the
Estonia, right?
Yes, I mean Estonia.
They always on the cutting edge of Estonia. I want to go visit that place.
Funnily enough, Dubai. I was speaking at a conference in Dubai literally a couple of weeks ago, and what they're doing there, they are deliberately trying to take over from Estonia, but that's a much wider issue. But the power of a digital currency from a governmental point of view is you can see when money is being spent in real time.
So you can imagine the statistics you can pull from
Precisely
that.
Right. The data you're going to get from that in terms of controlling the economy, you can say, right, the money's being spent on cars, or the money's being spent on houses, or it's being spent wherever it's being spent.
Or how's this if suddenly all this cold and flu medication, right, 1 week starts getting spent? I mean, Google helps with this as well. You can see health trends.
Precisely. You can actually judge and you can plan the whole economy on the basis of digital data coming from the currency. So I think in terms of controlling it, they will have a nightmare trying to control it, but they'll embrace the technology. That's the way that I see it.